My name is Topaz, and today we're going to be looking at a fabulous Photoshop plugin from Topaz Labs called Topaz Adjust. In fact, it is so fabulous, I decided to change my name just to be more like it. Topaz Adjust makes it super easy to turn your already awesome photographs into stunning images, popping with depth, color, and detail. With the click of a button, you can instantaneously make subtle corrections to things like exposure and noise, or create dynamic HDR effects and surreal works of art. Let's take a look. Before we get into Topaz Adjust, I just want to give you an idea of the kinds of things it can do. I've opened up 5 photographs that I've made enhancements to here in Photoshop, and we're looking at a photograph that I would like to, that I wanted to make a little more dramatic. So I applied a preset to it, and voila, in one click, I had a photograph with a completely different feel. Here's another picture that I enhanced with a single click in Topaz Adjust, before and after. Here's another one that I adjusted with one click in Topaz Adjust. Here it is, enhanced with an HDR preset. Here's another one. There are some great presets for portraits. Here it is before and after. This photograph is enhanced with one of the presets in the film collection. Here it is, enhanced. There's before and after. I'm going to go into Topaz Adjust using this photograph from the boardwalk. Before I do, I like to make a copy of the background and just work on a copy while I go into Adjust, in case I want to create a second version after I finish this first version. To get to Topaz Adjust, I go to my filter menu, down to Topaz Labs, and over to Topaz Adjust. And you find yourself in a very clean interface that has your various presets down here in the lower left. We see that as we click on each or any of the presets, you have a very different look. And so you can look around for something that you like. Up in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you see that there is a little thumbnail which shows you a little preview of what you're going to get when you select that preset. I, however, think it's kind of a waste of space. So now in the upper left-hand corner, you see that there are different collections of presets. We've been seeing a few in the Vibrant collection, but you have a Classic collection with a whole lot of more kind of simple alterations that you can make to your photo. There is an HDR collection and the film collection I was telling you about. And a toned collection of presets like so. There's also a list of Adjust For presets for folks who were using the previous version of Topaz Adjust. However, these presets are now categorized, and you will find them spread throughout the various collections that now are available in Adjust 5. Compare your before and after. Let's get a very obvious preset here. Let's try this one. Up here at the top, you have a before, shows your original, and an after with the preset you've applied. If you want to see them side by side, over here, you can change that if you like. Pretty great, right? Amazing enhancements and literally the click of a mouse button. It's likely, though, that you will want to further enhance these preset adjustments, so let me show you how to tweak it till it fully represents you as a photographer. Over here on the right side of the screen, you'll see that there are 3 ways to tweak your picture: global adjustments, local adjustments, and finishing touches. Let's start by going into global adjustments, and you'll see that there are several ways to make adjustments to your entire photograph. Adaptive exposure gives you things like regions, contrast, brightness, highlights, shadows. Adaptive exposure and regions work together. Regions basically divide your photo into a grid, and the smaller number of regions affect your photo like that, and a larger number of regions affect it in a different way. You really need to play around with these two and see how they work together. It's really kind of interesting. Of course, you've got your contrast and your brightness, and your highlights and shadows. I'll close this one and take a look at the next, which are details that can be strengthened or boosted, like so, in various ways. And you also work with your color in here. You can do all kinds of things to it. I'm going to saturate it a bit more, and can also alter the hue to your content. And you also have an area to work with noise, and you have a curve tool that works the same way it does in Photoshop. Closing global adjustments, I'll go into local adjustments, which is where you can affect just a portion of your photo to dodge, burn, brush out, smooth, etc. Let's burn in this area here. If I want to see how it affects it, I can change my overall strength, and down here you have the option to change your brush size, opacity, etc. Close that local adjustments, and let's take a look at what's in finishing touches. Open that up, and you'll see here we can play around with diffusion, grain, transparency, warmth, border, vignetting, and tone. Let me add a border. It's really quite intuitive. Let's say I want to select a color, and I'm going to choose this nice plum color. If I don't like the size, I can widen it or narrow it accordingly. So lots of options to play around with in here. So if you got something that you like, you simply hit the apply button, and it will save your work, and this photo now becomes your new before. So if you were to tweak anything beyond this point, you'd have this as your before to compare it to. If you like this preset, you can save it by using this button in the lower left hand corner, and these adjustments become a preset that gets saved in your collection to use again in the future. When you're done, you click your OK button, and it pops you back out into Photoshop. You see we still have our background copy that we tweaked, and if you make it invisible, you'll see just your original background, which you could go in and create another version of Topaz Adjust and compare them. All that's left to do is save, and voila, you're done. There you go. I hope you can see there's a lot to love about Topaz Adjust. Useful when you want to add some quick drama or pop to your photos, and a valuable tool for further defining your work's stylized signature. Be sure to look for more tutorials by me, Topaz, on other fabulous Photoshop plugins from Topaz Labs. Bye for now!